Hi guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. What's going on, everybody? I should probably share this video. It's a really weird way using the Streamlabs thing. I think I got to start setting it up in advance. This way I can put up a proper, oops, put that down here so you guys can actually hear me. Put up a proper thing, link and stuff like that because this is weird, like a thumbnail. An actual thumbnail would be nice, right? I have to do all that stuff afterwards. Yeah, that's me talking. So, what's going on, everybody? I'm just kind of chilling like a villain. Let's see. Wow, this whole thing is just stupid, huh? Let's see. Live right now. There we go. Um, hashtag comics. Hashtag comic books. So, what's everybody doing? I don't know. How's everybody doing? I was hoping to have a guest today. Somebody actually called up and said, "Hey, I'm here to be a guest, and I want to be your guest." And I was like, "Yay!" And didn't show up. Actually, he didn't confirm anything, so there's that. Um, I'll still kind of keep it on the low because I think it'd be cool if all of a sudden he decided to show up during the podcast. That'd be cool. There's a link. I'm just saying there's a link there. There's a link there. So if you want to show up, I wouldn't be upset. Oh, guys might be wondering about the shirt. That's right. This is my happy face. So, what do you call it? I just finally got finished seeing the final Star Wars movie in the series, Episode 9. I liked it. I know there's like the sales. It just showed that this movie this week now it's up to $590 million. You know, it's funny. The people who didn't like it, like who vehemently hated it, probably hated it before it even showed up in the movie theaters. You know, those kinds of people. They just have really loud voices, who need megaphones because everybody else is just voting with their dollars and we like it. I'm sorry. For the most part, like the people who didn't like it, you are drastically outnumbered and the numbers show it. You know what I'm saying? I went and I saw it. I saw it in 3D, saw it with my wife, saw it with my two kids. This was, like honestly, some of these people today, they genuinely sound like these okay, but did you yell positively or negatively, Mr. Smith? And I'm going to get to the comments in a moment. I just happened to see that one. Like I honestly wonder, um oh, what was I just saying? Oh, yeah, I honestly wonder, like, when I was a kid and I went to see these movies in the movie theater, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a big deal for me. I was old enough, I got to go, I wanted to go and see Return of the Jedi. And I don't recall anybody saying to me, any old people just, saying like, this movie's stupid. It's not like movies back in the day. It's not like the old movies and all that stuff. Movies were so much better when I was younger. This is garbage that you're watching. It's trash. It's blah blah blah. I'm glad they didn't because like I know me, and even as a young me, as a little like what was it, 4 or 5 year old me, I'd probably still punch somebody in the nuts for starting some stupid nonsense like that. It's like, honestly, shut up. I just want to watch a cool movie. And I liked it. My wife liked it. And guess what? My kids, 6 and 4 years old, they loved it. And this was the first Star Wars movie they got to see in a movie theater. They've already seen the other movies in this series. They didn't see Rogue One yet. They didn't see Solo yet. They have watched The Mandalorian. Um, but like they love the Mandalorian, probably because I'm just so, oh my god, the Mandalorian's amazing. Anyway, it's just funny to me. It's funny to me. It's like, dude, it's just people who want to go and watch a movie, and people going up there. Oh, rah, 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 rah. Listen, I'm being fully honest. There were a whole bunch of scenes in there that I thought to myself, you know what? Honestly, I'd be able to do better. I could honestly do better. I believe I could. If I had that budget and whatnot, I think that I could do better. But at the same time, think about it. J.J. Abrams did number 7 and number 9, but Rian Johnson did number 8 in between. It would have been nice if Rian Johnson would have done 8 with all the stuff that Abrams had started and continued it. But there's two problems with that. One, Rian Johnson was under no obligation to do that, and Disney backed him on that, and they shouldn't have. And two, why didn't J.J. Abrams just do the 8th one also? Why didn't he just do the next one? Oh, wait, let's take it a little bit further. Disney, huge corporate conglomeration, right? Why exactly did George Lucas get rid of the Star Wars franchise? Like afterward, he's complaining, "Oh, I don't like the way that such and such." Mr. George Lucas, please allow me to tell you just how much I care about your opinion on this. Oh wait, not at all. I honestly, genuinely, I don't care if George Lucas were to come in and give me an explanation like on the show, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Well, that's good. And I would literally finish every question with, so why did you sell the property then? I'm sorry, is this seller's remorse? You know what I'm saying? Because like there's people who sell comic books. They're like, they love the comic books. And it's like, oh, my wife made me get rid of my comic book collection. Wow, you caved to peer pressure like that? So your wife was more important than the comics, right? Well, you made your decision. I don't know what to tell you. But personally, my comics have never judged me. I'm just putting that out there. But I mean, like at the end of the day, I honestly just don't know what to say, man. There are some people out there who are super duper negative, and sometimes they think that they're a force for good, but at the end of the day, you really have to check what's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, check what's inside of you. They're just people who want to enjoy a good movie. And other people, oh, want to complain and whatnot. Brother, you honestly, I swear to God, one of the biggest problems in the world today is that mental health is simply not evaluated. We simply don't do that. And there are a lot of people who need a mental health check. I'm being honest. Because like I didn't want to watch the Han Solo movie because I was stupid. What was the stupid thing? I listened to those loud people who had all these. I listened to them, and I didn't get to see it in theaters, and I kind of wish I did because when my wife and I watched it in the on Netflix, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. That was a good movie, and that's when I was like, I'm not going to listen to anybody else anymore. So we had time to go and see the whatever the this ninth movie. The titles all seem to blend in, right? The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and the Rise of Sky. This one was the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. And probably should have said, I don't know. It's 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, whatever it is. I guess spoilers in chat. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I didn't really have too much of a problem with it. I honestly didn't. In fact, you know what? Spoiler. Um, Kylo Ren Kylo Ren dies at the end, right? And but after he gets finished doing a force heal, and I'm just like, okay, I get it. That's cool. But he got see, I kind of wanted to see him as a force ghost. I didn't get to see that. But see, here's the thing. By him dying and he disappeared like that, meaning that he could technically be a force ghost at this point. Um what do you call it? Somebody else can go and teach him how to do that. For me, it's like so I guess that they're showing that the Palpatine bloodline was more powerful. Like this just got me thinking. The Palpatine bloodline is more powerful than the Skywalker bloodline. That is not really what I was thinking could be the case, but it seems like that's the case. Vader never did force lightning. I know later they added in the idea that because of his robotic suit, the Emperor made weaknesses in the suit so that he couldn't do it. It would have killed him if he would have done it. He's very susceptible to force lightning, so blah blah blah. Yeah. Sorry, but just like the Leia kissing her brother. Oh wait, that wasn't her brother for the longest time, and she was actually originally going to get with Luke, not with Han. Like they kept on changing things over and over and over and over and over again. So I mean, like they didn't have their freaking heads right in those movies. They didn't have those heads right. They're just like willy nilly making new things all the time, changing things and whatnot. Honestly, I don't know how happy I am with the idea that Leia was a Skywalker in the first place. Why couldn't Leia just be Leia? You know, but that's what they decided to do. Okay, it's cool. And this one, like, she wound up becoming so good in the Force, but in secret, that she was good enough to be a master for the master for what's her name, Rey. In this, I look at it as okay. The Palpatine bloodline is more powerful, and it kind of makes sense because if you look at that Charles Soule comic book, the Darth Vader Volume 2, right towards the very end, what happens in there? Vader was created because we don't exactly know why. Like did he? It wasn't explained. Was she already pregnant, and then the midi-chlorians were like infected her and changed the kid? You know what I'm saying? Is that what wound up happening? Is that what Palpatine did to her? Or did he actually infuse her and make her? Because in the comic book, it showed that she was already pregnant and that, whatever. But that was also one scene. Maybe he'd been, coming by and doing those kinds of moments all over the place. Maybe there are a lot of kids who are like this. Maybe you've been doing that with a lot of kids. It's not explained. It's left wide open. So there could be 100 Skywalker bloodlines. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it seems like the Palpatine bloodline is more powerful. They have the most. God, I hate the word midichlorians. I hate the idea that midichlorians are a freaking thing. But anyway, boom. Okay, cool. Right? Cool. They never did a midichlorian count for Palpatine, right? So what's so special about the Skywalker line at this point? Maybe the Skywalker line is the only line that can actually go dark side and come back from the dark side because Luke did it in the comics. Technically, that's what happened with the with Darth Vader. You have saved me. You already have, son. You already have saved me. You know what I'm saying? And then it kind of sort of happened with Rey, and it absolutely happened with Ben. So maybe that's the case also. I mean, I literally just look at it as, hey man, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, people can hate all they want, but at the end of the day, eh, eh, I liked it, and my kids loved it. And every other descending voice out there can literally just go bury your head in the sand. I'm sorry you didn't like these movies. These movies obviously weren't for you. It was nice knowing you in the Star Wars fandom. I'm more than happy to get off your lawn if I ever find myself on your lawn. My kids love the movie. Get the hell off of their lawn. That's really my final word on that. I loved the movie. I thought it was great. And like my kids came home when we brought our kids home, they right away picked up their lightsabers and they started fighting each other with the lightsaber. My 4-year-old got whacked in the right side of his head. That was kind of rough. But aside from that, I mean, I'm like, you guys were fighting with lightsabers. You're just lucky you didn't chop off his head. I mean, like it is what it is. So yeah, like they loved it. Who cares what anybody else, wants to scream and cry about, man? All right, let's go back up and start checking out some of these comments over here. My peeps. Let me look in here. I'm just crying. I'm just crying. Okay. Oop, that's not it. Okay, so Alan Russett's here. What's up? Everybody, shout out. Where are you from? Martin P's here. What's up, Martin? From Twitter. Martin from Twitter. Cryptid, what's going on, brother? John Smith is here. Thank you. I'm glad you like the show. Yonkers, nice. Alan, I wish that you could actually give everybody a sample of what the Yonkers accent is. Can I ask you a quick face rip question? Of course, Alan. I'm here. Hope you've been enjoying 2020. Oh, I am actually doing. Thank you for the love on the shirt. Underwords is here also. Yes, I am feeling better, brother. Thank you. So as far as the face rip is concerned, I'm actually running a game right now. We just had episode 1. We did 2 session zeros. I've got episode 1 is already in the bag. Episode 2, we're going to start doing that on the second. On Monday, every Monday at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, every Monday at 9 o'clock, I'm doing it. You guys can't see it yet. Sorry. I'm saving them until the very end. I'm going to put some editing together and get all that stuff going. And I'm hoping that pretty soon I'm going to get some session zeros for another team going. We've got an underwater campaign, so an Atlantis-esque sort of campaign. Atlantis just simply does not get enough love. I've had some ideas for an Atlantis campaign for a while now, and yeah, it's about time. So I'm going to get a bunch of people together and do this, and hopefully it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So I'll actually get 2 campaigns running pretty much simultaneous with each other. And since I've already got a bunch of stuff sketched out, they will actually interact with each other sometimes accidentally. You know what I'm saying? Like an event that happens in one one campaign will transfer or will carry over because they're all in the same universe. You know what I'm saying? I love doing huge interactive things like that. So what do we got here? The shirt is hot. You're not a Skywalker. I guess. It was okay movie, nothing special. Yelled at the end. I liked it, but Rey is not a Skywalker. No, she's not a Skywalker. She's a Palpatine. She chose to take that name because it's a much better name than Palpatine in her mind. She's embarrassed by her own last name. It's like imagine somebody from the Gambini crime family who decides to change their name because they don't want to be associated forever as a Gambini. Sorry, this is the Italian, speaking up on here. Like I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like could somebody seriously have a problem with that? You know? No, she's not a Skywalker. She took the name because she likes it better than that one. And they both gave her blessing, their blessings. So, the twins, the Skywalker twins. So I don't think that she ever claimed that she was a Skywalker. She just simply took the name. Whatever. Um, Half and half. Haven't watched Star Wars movies since The Force Awakened. So you just haven't watched the last two movies, okay? Hey there, Tom's comic books and reviews. What's going on, Tom? Um, will there ever be a day when every Star Wars fan can be satisfied? Right? Right? Like seventh or eighth in my Star Wars universe. Well, it's not zero, so that's cool. Return of the Jedi was amazing. Loved Return of the Jedi. Up, Silver Surfer with the nerd rage. Oop, 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 just bounced a lot. Let's see. Like, from how I feel, movies are to be a fun ride. The spin-offs, like the comics of The Mandalorian and Clone Wars, are not there to be free or serious. I guess. There were two Force heals in the most recent movie, but they still came in second and third to Yiddle. That's Baby Yoda. Yiddle. I have named him Yiddle. And the Disney universe, the Disney execs will accept that one day. You have to believe in something, and that's what I stand for. All right. They will call him Yiddle one day. Let's see. Sup, everybody. Agreed. I never understood him giving up what is an industry on its own. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. Honestly, from my understanding, the reason why he left is because fans were so pissed off at the prequels. Think about that. The creator of Star Wars was like, okay, y'all are a bunch of bitches, whining, crying, bitching, and moaning, a bunch of little crying babies. You know what? I don't feel like dealing with this nonsense. And he left. Like, that's what he said. So now him acting like this with these guys, like, dude, are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, are you kidding me? So whatever. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not here for. If I don't like, dude, like this is me. If I don't like a comic book, I'll be like, oh, I didn't really like this one such that. And if I continue to not like it a lot, where it actually starts to like change me emotionally, I'm like, yeah, I got to do a wrap up review on this because I don't want to review this comic book. I don't want to read this comic book anymore. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I like to read good comic books. And if I don't like a comic book, I won't read it. It's that simple, you know? I don't. I figure that's the adult thing to do. I guess you got to be 44 years old or older to get that, right? Maybe. Um, I agree. Never understood. At the end of the day, these are kids' movies. When I was in Saudi Arabia, I went there with which one was it? This one. I went there and I had this sword with me, this lightsaber with me. This one lightsaber, Vader's lightsaber. Hopefully the real fans were able to, the ones who were talking about, oh, I'm a real fan. Hopefully you knew that before I ignited it, right? Hopefully a lot of guys, you realize that before if you're real fans. But anyway, I took this one with me to Saudi Arabia. And anybody who's a Facebook friend of mine, you could see that I actually had this to one of my students' throats the one time. And he was just like laughing. But the story behind that is I pulled that out of my bag. I was like, what's up, guys? Because everybody's like, so stuffy and you got to take yourself seriously. You got to take everything seriously. Like, bruh, you don't have to take the world so seriously because the world doesn't take any of us seriously. Just have some fun with it, man. Have some fun with this stupid, goofy, kooky world that we live in. Just have some freaking fun. And he was like, I don't know. So I was like, you know what? He's and like that's everybody in the class. And the guy was like, teacher, take my picture with you. I was like, come on, man. You want a picture? Fine. Whole bunch of students love taking pictures with me because I was fun. I did, have fun and whatnot. I used to do yoga poses in the middle of the freaking classroom on my desk sometimes. Just it's like, you guys need to wake up. Here, how about this? And I'd stand up on the desk and I'd start doing some cool things. Everybody do this with me. Stand up and do such and such. And some people are like, what is this guy doing? This is not proper. No, it's not proper. It's life. It's life. Fucking enjoy it. Celebrate it, for crying out loud. Because you never know when you're going to want to end it. You know what I'm saying? Just Jeez, have some freaking fun for once, you know? These are kids' movies. Let me tell you something about kids' movies. They're all kids' movies. All of the Star Wars movies are kids' movies because there are very few people in the world who saw them for the first time as an adult and were like, cool. Ain't nobody from the 50s watch this movie and be like, cool. Nah, man. But meanwhile, me, I love this stuff so much. I don't know about you guys. I actually got a freaking working lightsaber, so y'all can just fight me. You know what I'm saying? Yes, this thing actually push the button and it just it lights up and everything. Anyway, I wish I could get one in green also because I consider myself more of a counselor than a knight. But hey, that's just me. So anyway, yeah, dude, y'all just freaking have fun and stop being so stuffy. Jesus Christ. It's a freaking comic book style movie. You know what I'm saying? It's people and it's space pirates and laser sword people fighting each other and blasting and making explosions in space. It's all freaking kid stuff. Be a kid again. Jesus, bunch of stuffed shirts. Wah. It's not my Star Wars movie. No, it's never been your Star Wars movie. That's why you bought a ticket as opposed to hiring actors. Jesus, have some freaking fun. Oh my God, go kiss a Jar Jar and an Ewok. What happens if you cross a Jar Jar and an Ewok? I don't know. A Gungan and an Ewok. Bruce Johns, how about them Texans? I don't know what happened in Texas. Howdy loves. Hey, Suan, what's going on? Oh, hey, Sebastian. First question: have you heard something called Devil Man? If not, good. You wouldn't want to know unless you insist. I think I remember Devil Man being a manga story. I never read it though. Hey, Suan. Cryptid, I wonder if there. Oh, a bunch of jumping. Okay, I was already reading that one, so I'm going to go back, try and see it. Okay, oh, it's right there. It's not too far. Also, wonder if there would be a day when Star Wars fans can be satisfied, right? Okay, here's the Facebook question. When you're judging telekinesis, what do you use for throwing objects? Power rank, agility? I've gotten into massive dispute with my cousin about this. No need for massive disputes. Listen, it's a broken game. You know what I'm saying? There's so many flaws in the game. That's one of the reasons why I love it. The other reason why I love it because there's not too many charts. How many role-playing games, RPGs, do you have from the 80s that don't have a billion charts? Meanwhile, with this game, there's literally only one chart. After character creation, there's only one chart. I know, it looks like the periodic table. Yes, that's the joke. What do you call it? This is the game in of itself. Um, However you feel that you want to do it, and realistically, make it up to make it the discretion of the judge, but based on the player. How good is their imagination? It's like, okay, let's see. Your agility is much higher than your power rank. You know what I'm saying? And realistically, I think it should be the agility of the character because the power rank determines how heavy the object is you can get and how far it can go. Therefore, the agility would be, your aim. Maybe it's your psyche. Maybe it's your psyche. Who knows? The idea is have the player give a good reason why. And if the reason is good enough and really makes you believe it, let him go with that. You know what I'm saying? I do things all the time like emotion control and with emotion control. Should that be psyche? Why? I feel like it should be intuition personally. You know what I'm saying? Are you intuitive enough to realize that you're being played? You know, which stat is higher? So, like honestly, just it's a game about imagination, you know what I'm saying? And rules shouldn't dictate how you play the game. Rules should dictate, rules shouldn't really dictate. Rules are just there to be a quick guideline, but they shouldn't. This isn't a video game, you know what I'm saying? RPG, no RPG, including this one, is a video game. You know what I'm saying? It's not an MMO RPG where it's like open world concept. Really? Really? So can I kill that NPC? Well, no, then F you, because you know what? In my game, you can, and you'll suffer consequences for it, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Any good DM would make sure that happens. But at the end of the day, it's genuine open world, sandbox or rails, whatever. The characters can always try to go off the rails and just have some fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Use their actual imagination, interact, ask questions that aren't one of the multiple choice things. Which question would you like to ask? the one from my mouth, not the one that I click on with my pointer. That's why I've always loved the pen and paper games an infinite number of times more than any RPG. Even though I was very partial to the Lord of the Rings MMORPG, still, I would rather actually play an actual pen and paper roll the dice game as opposed to, these instead. So honestly, have some fun with it, genuinely. Lethal Weapon or Die Hard? Oh, man. I only really like the first Die Hard movie, but I mostly like all of the Lethal Weapon movies. I'm going to have to go with Lethal Weapon. Plus, there's like one more of them, and they made a TV series of it, so there's that. Oh, actually, they did come back and make more Lethal Weapon movies. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Or excuse me, more Die Hard movies. Honestly, I liked the. Oh, and I think the fourth one was actually pretty good. Third one with Samuel L. Jackson is that Zeus guy was pretty fun, but I'm gonna have to go with Lethal Weapon. It just, what I'm saying? It's more than one character. It's like Joe Pesci showed up. It was like, dude, this is just off the rails crazy. Chris Rock showed up. It's like, oh my God, this is not. When those two started going at it with each other, wow. Oh, and I just finished watching The Irishman recently, so I'm really in a Joe Pesci kind of mood. Maybe that's influencing a little bit. You caught me at the exact wrong time, but I'm going to go with Lethal Weapon. Just that's what I'm going to go with. Um, Skywalker is a name for future Jedi. Oh, that could work. That could work. Comic expertise. What's up, people? What's up? Oh, the question. Yeah, I'm kind of bothered they didn't answer the question. What was Finn gonna say to Rey? Because it was very forced. It was like, wait, I never told you, and then he just fall underneath. What? But I saw afterwards that J.J. Abrams was gonna have him say that he's force sensitive. That doesn't seem like something you would say at your deathbed. Like it just doesn't. So like that was a really weird scene for me. Whether you knew or don't know what it is, that was just a really weird scene for me. Anyway, when Espanol, I don't know what that is. Looks like you're talking about a butt. Are you asking where's your butt? Where is Larry? I don't know where your Spanish butt is, but you can always throw in some actual English. Just saying. Uh, hello from Spain. Oh, and that's like proper Spanish. Shoot. Like I would know like the Mexican version, like some, say I got to get some of my buds in here who actually speak Spanish. Yeah, I don't, I'm sorry. I just don't know all that. It's not one of the languages I'm particularly overly good with. Coffee Breath is here. What's up? Hayden Appleton. Hello. Welcome to the channel. What is your favorite singular issue comic book this year and favorite one shot? Favorite comic book this year would have to be, I don't know. It's kind of a cross between the Daredevil that just came out or Thor issue 1 by Donny Cates. Because, we only had 1 week in this year. I usually don't answer questions like that because it's hard. I don't want to disrespect some other comic that maybe I'm not thinking about offhand. I just enjoy comics in general. I don't usually do like the top 10 lists and things like that. I usually just don't. Maybe I'll get around to doing something like that. I don't know. But oh, guys, eventually we got to get to start talking about the things that patrons want, because a lot of the things that I do for patrons, I do want to make most of them available for other for non-patrons. Here's the thing. Let me explain something, okay? Because this is really important to me. I hate Patron. What do I mean by that? I hate the company? No, that's not the case. What I hate is the idea that I can't just give free content to everybody, because I would love to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm the guy who's like, if I ever owned a huge business, I would hire all my friends and give them good enough salaries that they won't never have to, like bust their butts again, or they'd always have job security. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the kind of person I want to give. I want to give out to people. That's what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? I like to give gifts, and I don't really care to get gifts back. The gift back is that smile, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, wow, this is awesome, because I put thought into gifts. You know what I'm saying? I put just a little bit of thought into gifts. Like these are the kind of things I like doing. That's what I love. I hate the idea that I'm making this exclusive, because that's what I actually had a pretty long conversation with my wife about it last night. She's like, okay, so for the patron things that you want to do, because I put that poll out yesterday, for the things that you're going to do, the patron rewards, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, can we just stop? It's too much right now. She's like, what's the matter? Like, this is how you're going to sustain the channel. I was like, yes, but At the same time, you know what I'm saying? Listen, there are a whole bunch of people, there are a lot of people out there who don't understand that watching ads all the way through, not clicking off of an ad for a second is actually what's going to cause this channel so that I'm going to get money. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually going to get paid for all the work that I do. Um, there are a bunch of people who literally don't care, like some of the people who are leaving right now. That's cool. You're not real fans anyway. You want to come in and suck up the content. And when I say, hey, could you maybe watch an ad so that I can get like, a couple of cents here and there for all the work I put into that video, and all the other videos that I do. And some people just like, yeah, no, F you. And it's like, dude, I'm promising you, I'm swearing to God Almighty, at one point, one day, I'm probably going to wind up saying this channel simply isn't worth it and I'm going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? There are people who simply can't afford to pay more because I've seen other channels. I try to look at other channels when they talk about their Patreon. Like, oh, the patrons are the ones that show me that they care more about this channel than anybody else. As much as I love my patrons, it's simply not true. It's simply not true. There are people who can't afford. There are people like, yo, you can't afford $1 a month. There are people who can't afford to give their kids a lunch at school. I really want the air to have a second to come back into the room because I really want that to be a powerful statement. There are people who really don't understand the levels of poverty that actually exist in the world, and I do. I do. You know what I'm saying? Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. How did he become the Buddha? What were the four things that he saw that would make him become the Buddha? He saw old age, he saw death, he saw sickness, and he saw poverty. He saw these four things and it made him like it broke his heart. You know what I'm saying? And he had to sit for all those days under the lotus tree to learn, you know what I'm saying, and find a way to actually make harmony in the world. I don't have the benefit of a giant hooded cobra sheltering me from the sun while I sit and meditate on the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm just this guy who's like, I'd love to actually see something positive happen in the world. And listen, as far as, oh shoot, somebody sent a super chat. Alan Russett, thank you, sir. Here's a couple of nickels for the jar. Poor guy here. Let me actually show that. Poor guy here, but appreciate the content. All the love in the world, Alan. All the love in the world. Listen, honestly, I don't want people to give more than they have. I don't want this to be like, this isn't prosperity gospel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here telling you, hey, give and then God will give back to you. I don't believe that. I simply don't believe that. Okay. What I believe is if you have, give, but take care of your own first. You have to because nobody else can. You know what I'm saying? Like I know for a fact there are people out there who can barely afford to keep clothes on their kids' backs. You know what I'm saying? There are people like we don't do school lunches in Canada, which is surprising to me. Everybody has to bring their own food. Cool. Everybody's brown paper bagging it, so to speak. They've got Spider-Man and Paw Patrol lunch boxes, so there's that. What do you call it? But they like I remember when I was a kid, you got to remember, like I'm a third generation Italian. You know what I'm saying? And we really didn't have a lot. And I had those little welfare tickets for lunch when I was a kid. And it's like so embarrassing. It's so the humiliation because everybody sees that ticket, you know what it is. Everybody knows where that damn ticket is. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you get fed. That's how you get food. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays they're making it even harder to do that people can't afford. It's like, well, you don't qualify for free meals for your kid, or partial paid meals for your kid. That's messed up, man. So like a kid's got to go to school all this time, barely learning anything to begin with. Let's be realistic about it because our tax dollars are going towards things other than what we actually need to be better in society. And one of those things should be free lunches for all kids. That's just my opinion on it. I don't know what everybody else is talking about, but like that's one of my opinions. I genuinely believe that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so to just get off of all that, the idea is I know that there are people out there who have a hard time out there, and I'm not asking you to sacrifice anything in order for you to what do you call it? Get I don't know to support your guy who likes to read your comic books. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. I don't want that. Um, there are a bunch of people who try and act like they're super tough and whatnot. I was in the military, 6 years in the military, and martial arts almost my entire life. You know what I'm saying? Believe me when I say I've gotten into fights. I got scars on my knuckles to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Um, tough as nails, as they say. At the same time, I could fill a damn swimming pool with my tears. You know what I'm saying? Empathy is not a bad thing. So believe me when I say I get it. So when I'm asking people, what do you want to see for the patron viewers? These are the people who can afford to support the channel. If you can't, then you can't. And nobody's better than anybody else based on how much money you have. You know what I'm saying? Um, if possible, what I'm asking is that people just simply watch the advertisements. Just get up and walk away. Go make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Great Depression food. And when I mean that, I mean the Great Depression. That's what gave a lot of vitamins and nutrients to Americans during the Great Depression. That's actually where the history of that comes from. That's why it's indelibly American. And yes, grape jelly, sometimes hard to find here in Canada. Anyway, there's a reason why I've got maybe 16 of them in my pantry because they are hard to come by. And I love me and my kids. We love some grape jelly. Wife's a strawberry jelly person, but she's actually Canadian. I'm just trying to be one. I hope I don't have to give up grape jelly. I hope that's not on the application. Are you willing to forgo grape jelly? No, I'm going back to the States. Anyway, sorry for anybody who had earphones. So anyway, listen, it is what it is. So what I offer on Patreon, I want to start making available to non-patrons. So I'm going to try and have tiers at this point. If you can afford something bigger, cool. I'm cool with just $1 for everybody, but I honestly do get, like, swear to God, I honestly do get messages from some people. Hey man, you've only got a $10 tier, $5, whatever it is, tier as your highest. I don't even know my own tiers because I don't look at them. Everybody gets the same on my Patreon. But I genuinely feel bad inside that non-patrons don't get that stuff. So I will make that stuff available. I'm just gonna have to do it at a slightly later time. And I even feel bad doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I have to give something extra to the people who are my patrons, you know? I can't promise this channel is going to be around forever, but while it is here, I'm going to promise to give quality content as much as I can. So besides the stuff that's on the poll, there are two things that I'm going to add to because I already planned on adding these to the poll. I'm going to continue. I'm going to start up again doing spotlights on stories, and I'm going to continue again doing the 10 things about. Okay, the old explained in a minute series. I love it when I do and explain, like, they're in parentheses. Explained in a minute is in parentheses, and people are like, it says explained in a minute, but I look at the time and it says 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I swear, some people just need a hug, and I would love to give you that hug. I'd probably just rather shove you in a well for being so belligerently stupid. But hey, anyway, some people literally just don't understand what parentheses mean. You know, I'm like, dude, hi, the brackets. You know what I'm saying? Like, it means I'm not actually saying that. It's the title of something. You know what I'm saying? It's an under the breath statement. Anyway, people are fun. People are fun. Okay, let's get back to some more comments. Uh, Sebastian, oh, I don't remember what that was about. Hey, Chaos in Comics, what's going on, dude? Here's a guy who's only got about 150 subs, and that should change by the end of the day. So this guy right here, go and check him out. Chaos in Comics, genuinely cool guy. Met him on Dylan's comic rants. Another guy you should go and check out, but he's probably in the chat later on. I just haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, yeah, check it out. Yo, Professor, finally made it to one of your live AMAs, friend. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just saying I subbed to Chaos and Comics. Y'all could too. Oh, what is this? There's another super chat in here. Oh, come on, Sue-Ann. You just freaking peanut butter and grape jelly time dances. Oh no. Oh, what is this also? Oh, Cryptid. Cryptid also. Jeez, I didn't even see the super chats. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, crap. Okay, so you know what I should do? Oh, I've only got 2 of them. I've got a whole bunch of Obi-Wan Kenobis here, but I've only got 2 of them actually here. You know what I'm going to do? Here, since I just got finished seeing some Star Wars, I'm going to do these in a row. You guys, as I'm doing them, you guys claim which guys are you, okay? So, I'm going to do, there was 3 super chats. I'm going to do them in a row. Who is claiming, first person who says it gets it, who's claiming Obi-Wan Kenobi in his Clone Wars armor? I'ma cut you down, Goofy Grievous. Exit stage left. Okay. Now, who after that, let me put him back up there. Who after that is going to claim Anakin Skywalker? There we go. Let's go this way. I'm so emo. I'm so sad now. I want to cry. 'Cause Padme don't love me no more. But now she married me. Had to be a secret. I don't have the higher ground. Anyway, so I should totally go into show business, right? Okay, and finally, whoever didn't grab those, you get Darth Vader. Luke, the force is strong in you. Join me as we take on the Emperor. Yeah, because my grandson, you're going to try and kill him, and that's not cool. Come and join me. Dark side, baby. Dark side, the dark side. Okay, so we're done with that. What do you call it? See, I try to give benefits to everybody. So anyway, yes, okay, cool. Let's get let's just move on with this silly stuff. Are you still planning for Hyborian age? Oh, geez, missed a bunch of things. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, let's go back up here. Paula is here. Hello, Paula. Take that back. I was almost 30 when A New Hope came out, and I loved every single frame of that movie. By the way, hi, everybody. Okay, I'll take it back for you. I'll take it back for you, but only because it's you. Mark Guerrero. Mark Guerrero's here, so you know the verses are coming up. Adam West, Batman versus Lou Ferrigno, Hulk. That's a really hard one. I'm gonna go with Adam West Batman because I think that he took it more seriously. I think that he cared about it more. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Lou Ferrigno, I don't know. I think Adam West seemed to care about it more. And what concerns me more than anything else is the care that somebody has for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, give back. Give back. You got your paycheck. Congratulations. How about give back? You know what I'm saying? Is there something so wrong with that? Maybe it's just me. Um, let's see. No, I don't think this guy's showing up. It is what it is. Oh well. Oh well. Maybe another time. So, are you still planning for the Hyborian Age? Underwood asks. By the way, or is that asking too much on your plate? I love being a player, but it's fine if not. At least got to play me some. Got me to buy more Conan. It's all good. Underwood, yes, I am still planning on doing a Hyborian Age thing. It's going to be hard doing 3 campaigns at the same time, but you know, I'll see what I can do. I'll see in general what I can do. Either way, there is good reason to have Bricks and Stone come on back. You know what I'm saying? For other adventures. So you never know. There might be a mission at some point that these guys are currently on that, you know, I'm running right now where Bricks and or Stone might have to show up for something. You never know. So, and by the way, when I say that, that's like a mobster saying, maybe you should do such, it means go do such a thing. So when I say there's a chance, it means that it's definitely happening. I got you, brother. On both instances, you're good. Yeah, there will be a Hyborian Age, so there will be some Conan stuff coming up soon. And there's going to be a whole lot more than that, believe me. Alan, good to see we're on the same page. I believe it should be agility as well. Boom. Okay, so we're really far back here. Wow. Favorite X-Men film? Crap. Favorite X-Men film? Probably the first one because it was great to see that it was done in the first place. The second one was amazing though. Like that, to me, that has more rewatchability than the first one. But you got to give love. Plus, that first one was just so beautiful. Like it really, I don't like when they give origins to these characters, you know what I'm saying? But for characters that never had an origin. But I can honestly say, like that moment where Rogue was staring at Wolverine when they were both in the car together before they met up with Sabretooth. And what was that? Tyler, can't remember his name. Tyler Maine, the guy who played Sabretooth. Anna Paquin and Hugh, why do I have Hugo Weaving in my head? For crying out loud, you know, Wolverine, Hugh Wolverine. Anyway, when she was looking at those claw, you know, the hand, And she was like, "Does it hurt when they come out?" And he just kinda sits there for a while, and, like, I get emotional just thinking about it, and he just says, "Every time." Like, god damn it, that was the best Wolverine moment, probably as good as any moment that's ever been in the comics before, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was just such a great moment, and it's moments like that that for me will always be memorable. Um, Bringing in that great storyline that they brought, the moment with Iceman and his parents, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever tried not being a mutant? It's like, wow. That like all the like the suggestion, the metaphor, what that's actually analogous for. Like I loved all of this stuff. It was great. But like that first movie, just it had so much more. Like it started the movement. It really showed it can all be done. And mind you, the first of those goes to Blade, where it shows that a comic book movie can be amazing. You know, not just the Batman and Superman ones, but other one. Like if you could make Blade that good, we good. We good. um, let's see. What's worse, Phantom Menace or Rise of Skywalker? Phantom Menace had Qui-Gon Jinn in it, and I love Qui-Gon Jinn as a character. I think that he's the ultimate Jedi, in my opinion, the absolute ultimate Jedi. But that being said, I think it was almost a filler movie. It really just felt like a filler movie. So little of what happened there was really important for like the stuff on the Senate, yeah, obviously important. Seeing the rise of Palpatine, yeah, of course, really important. You know what I'm saying? Seeing Master Yoda, or Master Yoda with a mustache, yeah, I'm sure that was really important too. But like the Jar Jar Binks stuff, I really just don't think that was important. Did I see it as overtly racist? A little bit. A little bit. When you made a stupid character with essentially a Jamaican accent, I don't care Ahmed Best's story. Like, I don't have any hate towards that guy. He just took a job. You know what I'm saying? That's all he did. I literally just look at it as I don't think that that had a whole lot of positive thought into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I genuinely hate the character of Jar Jar Binks. I don't think he added a single thing to the movies. I think he detracted from the movies more than anything else. I think that a lot of the aliens, they tried so hard to make them with their silly accents. Oh, I don't know, the Jedi, you're in the. It's like, please stop that. Please stop that. There's a thing that was on YouTube. I don't know if it's still on there, but there's this thing on YouTube where they actually showed what if they had a regular voice just for those guys? And it's like, and for Jar Jar. So Misa Wanda Guga that got shut the mouth. No, dude, like so dumb. If they would have just had regular voices for these guys, they wouldn't have been so ridiculously off the wall. The movie would have been so much better. You know. So there's that. But honestly, the worst movie in my opinion was Attack of the Clones. Like just such a weird freaking movie. Anyway, um, Games Forever. Brazil is bad, and I honestly don't know enough about Brazil to know why it's like that. If that's actually the case, I don't know, man. Um, I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about Brazil to make a comment on that. Ray has no romantic chemistry with Kylo or Finn. Did you watch the previous two movies? Because I don't know, man. I don't know about the no Kylo thing. The Finn thing, honestly, I after seeing that episode 7, I was really shocked to see that Finn and Poe didn't get together. You know what I'm saying? Like they really see like that's dude, I've had a lot of, cool best friends before, but I've never gotten so close enough that it was like I was gonna kiss one of them. You know what I'm saying? So like that, I honestly thought they were gay in the first movie, and then even when they saw each other again in the beginning of the second one, the post quills, whatever the sequels, you know what I'm saying? I honestly thought that they were gay. I thought it was weird that they were made to not be gay in this one, but I mean, I let it go when all of a sudden Poe had a romantic interest. She was like, "Hey, you wanna, just come with me?" And he's like, "No, I can't." And then at the end of the movie, he's like, and she's like, "Hey," and he was like, "Want to do it?" And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Okay." And he left. I thought that was funny. That had me rolling. And afterwards, like when he went up and then he went and said hi to Finn. I was like, "Well, they can't be gay now." You know what I'm saying? Because like when they came up to me. I was like, oh, don't even have him kiss now because you just like, oh, unless he's going to be bisexual, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just want good storytelling. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want. My wife and I got into a little bit of an argument. Like, should Kylo have died at the end? She's like, no, I don't want him to be forgiven for all that stuff. I was like, so you don't believe in redemption? She's like, I do believe in redemption, but he shouldn't live. I'm like, well, then, like, you get what I'm saying, right? I'm a guy who believes in forgiveness. It's a weird thing, I guess, because this is not the kind of world where people forgive or believe in forgiveness. Now that we live in outrage culture, saying modern day, saying somebody says something just a little bit out, people want to try and destroy you just so they can get a brownie point. Like they're not going to go anywhere by doing that, but somehow they feel some sick sort of satisfaction for trying to wreck your life forever. And meanwhile, they're going to forget about it. You know what I'm saying? I remember there was one person who actually hurt me with words. One person who hurt me with words, and I still have not forgiven this person to this day. And it's still a person who's kind of in my life, kind of, but not because I want this person in my life. Anyway, this individual went and said something like a year ago, like, I just want to apologize to Bill just so I can get this thing over with. And and I was thinking, oh, when I heard that they said that, I was like, well, that's, I guess, a start. But then the follow up was, I don't even remember what the argument was about. Wow. Well, the argument was about you attacking me for absolutely no reason, actually, offending me, genuinely offending me, and then just walking away and acting like it's nothing. Meanwhile, you caused so think about what kind of a vile person has to basically come up and stab you and then walk away, and then you healed, you got the scars still, and they're just like, oh well, I don't see what the problem is. I don't even remember what we were fighting about. You still have the scar though. But how convenient of them to be able to forget about that. That's the funny thing. You really have to think about what kind of a human being you are to be able to just casually ignore that you just potentially caused a lot of pain to another human being. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I don't know. Like to me, I literally look at it as Kylo Ren did all sorts of horrible, terrible things. You know what I'm saying? You know what? There's this thing in Islam. Okay, bang. If there are any Muslims in the group, you guys are going to be happy that I know this. Check this out. There's this story in Islam. Okay, a guy, just some random guy, a guy, he um he's killed 99 people in his lifetime. He was a terrible, horrible tyrant of a person. And then he's like, I want to be forgiven. So he goes to a smart man, an intelligent, a very intelligent person, and he says, hey, I've killed 99 people in my life. I want to know, can I be forgiven? And the guy goes, no, you're a vile beast. You're going to hell. Saying, and you should go to prison and blah, 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 whatever. And the guy gets so pissed off. He's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to kill you too. So now he's killed 100 people. Okay, so now, same story, but now it's a guy who's killed 100 people. Okay, and he still wants forgiveness. Obviously a very angry person, whatever. And he goes and he sees this old wise man, or a religious man, and he says, hey, bud, I just want to know, am I capable of being forgiven? And he says, yes, of course. Everybody's capable of being forgiven. God forgives everyone who asks for it. He's like, but you need to understand the people are simply not God. The people aren't good enough. People in general suck. You do something and the people know about it. They love to vilify people. What you need to do is you need to go. You need to go to another town, another place, someplace. And when you go there, that's when you'll be, you'll be able to be forgiven. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to be a better person because nobody will know the crimes that you've committed. You just have to go someplace. And he's like, okay, cool. And the story continues on a little bit more. And he says that he got like halfway to the town, almost halfway to the town. He died on the march, almost halfway there. And God's forgiveness was only going to come if he made it to at least halfway to the town, and he missed it by a little bit. But the angels like loved this person so much for him being so sad, so genuinely remorseful about what he'd done, that they went down and actually dragged him a little bit further so that he did make the halfway point. And then, this way God's it's not the idea that God couldn't forgive him before. No, but you look at it as um God knows I will forgive him once he gets to the halfway point. But he didn't make it to the halfway point. We'll pull him there. See? I told you I would forgive him when he got to the halfway point. It's like the knowledge and the wisdom of God. You know what I'm saying? And I loved that. I love that story. I think that's a great story. And I wish that human beings, like, we say that, man was made in the image of God. I regretfully disagree. We absolutely were not. You know what I'm saying? We love to hate. We love to hate and we hate to forgive. And the funny thing is, there is guaranteed at least one person, probably in the chat even, typing right now or already hit send. Hope I see redacted later on because I like intelligence or at least thoughtfulness. You know what I'm saying? Self reflection. All right. Well, Professor, obviously you've never had somebody in your family killed before. 100% not true. 100% not true. And I've met the person in court and I didn't have to actually say I forgive you, but I literally just looked at it as in my heart. You know what I'm saying? What's it going to help if this guy goes to jail for the rest of his life? What's it going to help if this guy, what I'm saying, gets executed himself? What's that going to do? He just took another person's life. He has to decide for himself what kind of person he wants to be from this point on because wow, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And it was an uncle on my mother's side, there's my mother, my aunt, um wait, no, my mother, and then my uncle, that one uncle that was murdered, then my aunt, and then my youngest uncle, so who's only 7 years older than me. So yeah, here's this guy who was like 10, 11 years older than me. We practically grew up together. He was a great person. His name was Charlie. Incredible human being. So giving, so giving. I've literally seen him give the shirt off of his back to another human being. Meanwhile, my uncle was actually homeless at the time. You know what I'm saying? But he knew he had another shirt in his bag. You know what I'm saying? Actually gave his shirt to another human being. Um, like that's just the kind of person that he was. In fact, I've also seen him give his belt to another human being. You know what I'm saying? I saw him, yeah, and he was wearing a rope for a while. And it's like, so my mom and I went out and bought him another belt, knowing he was probably going to give that one away too. Charlie had some mental problems. It happens, you know what I'm saying? And what do you call it? But he was still a good at his heart. He was a good human being, and he was murdered by another human being. And yeah, I was able to forgive this guy, looked him dead in the eye and all that stuff. And I was able to just be like, he has to decide what kind of person he wants to be. Yeah, I think that people can be forgiven. The question is, what kind of people can't? What kind of people aren't at that place yet in their lives where they can't see that human beings can actually be human beings? And that means that we were created to be perfectly fallible. Think about that, you know? Okay, that's enough of my philosophy classes. Let's go on a little bit more. Let's see what's. I think I just saw somebody say something about Gem Mint. I just became aware of that channel recently. Oh, here we go. Have you been invited to Gem Mint Weekly Review Saturday nights from Bruce Johns? No, I haven't. I actually just recently. Uh, I got invited to Dylan's comic book rants. He's a really small channel, but like I like to try and help people. I like to try and help smaller channels out all the time. The problem is by me always going to these smaller channels, YouTube's got this algorithm thing, so they always show me channels that are smaller than mine. Yeah. So I don't see the channels that are bigger than mine. I almost never see anything pop up from Rob or anybody. So I decided to start looking around. I saw like I was talking with Comics with Bueller recently. He's also a smaller channel. And I never watched his stuff at the time, but I watched a couple of his things recently. Um, excuse me. I don't know if I don't know. He like barely talks to me, so whatever. Not everybody's gonna like everybody. I think he's cool enough people though. Anyway, so I watched some of his stuff, and that brought me to Comics Tom. Comics Tom saw me a couple weeks ago, and I felt like a jerk, but like I was called out right there. It's like, hey, this is Comics Tom. What's going on? I just saying, I watch your channel. And you're good people. It's like, oh, hey, Comics Tom. I feel like I've seen your name before, but I can't remember where. And it was just people saying things about Comics Tom, and I never got the chance. I think Comics Tom is a bigger channel than mine. I watched I watched two of his videos, and now they actually pop up on my stream. I just never get around to watch it. You can watch content or you can make content. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've watched one of his thing about the oh, actually it was his thing on Variant. On Variant, I saw that he was talking about Golden Age comics. Very knowledgeable guy. Very kind guy too, which is awesome. It's very rare. It's so funny. A lot of people think that calling somebody kind is like a weakness. No, it's actually probably one of the strongest things you could possibly say to another human being. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's just funny the way that we're all skewed in our minds sometimes. He seems like a genuinely kind human being, and very knowledgeable in the comics. Exactly the kind of person I would love to hang out with, you know? What do you call it? But as far as Gem Mints, I think that while I was looking at some of, because that variant featuring Comics Tom obviously brought me to Comics Tom channel. So I watched a couple of his videos. I commented on one of them. I don't remember which one because I watched like I think four of them in the same sitting, and then I saw Gem Mint collectibles. I watched. I think I just either I watched the channel feature, like the channel trailer, and if he doesn't have a channel trailer, then I watched something else instead. One of his other videos. Either way, I watched only one of his videos so far. So I just learned about him. I don't know if he even knows who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally just this little guy with like 14,200 subs. It's not a lot. When you look at some of the other guys, like Rob and some of these guys, like Comics Explained and Comic Story, they've got like a million subs, variant, a million subs. I'm a speck. You know what I'm saying? So it's it is what it is. No, I didn't know that he invites people on his channel. I've only just seen him talking. But yeah, if he's got it's on Saturday nights. Am I competing with this guy? I think that explains why I've never seen him before. Plus, I remember correct. I think that he's a bigger channel. Anyway, that's all just funny, man. Um, what do you call it? Let's see. I stand by Hickman's X-Men. They were my favorite this year. Good stuff. Good stuff, Suan. My favorite comics. Oh, everybody's bringing in their favorite comic series. Superior Spider-Man. Nice, nice, nice. Unstoppable Wasp. Yes, that's always a big deal when you bring up something like that. A lot of people wind up getting offended or something like that. Like, why do you have to make the character so real? I don't know. I mean, like, it's not like, back in the 80s, somebody would turn around and make a character addicted to heroin, like a guy like Speedy from the Green Arrow series. Ding. I swear, some people don't understand that comic books have always been like this. Always. In fact, they're less like it. They're less the way they used to be than they were back in the days. I love that Marvel's been putting out the Stan soapbox stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, like all these, just a gorgeous cover, man. I can't wait to start reviewing this comic book for you guys. But what do you call it? The Stan soapbox is a really long one. I love, and they're still back in February of 1980. Stan's soapbox, dude. Like this guy was so political and so caring, so gentle. You know what I'm saying? And when I hear people talk about, oh, I just don't like politics in my comics. Okay, so let me just translate what you said. And you might not like the translation, but it's factual. You can actually Google translate it. You don't like comic books. That's what you're telling me. You like funny strips. You like the newspaper comics and things like that. Like the Prince Valiant stuff, maybe. But you like Heathcliff. You like Garfield with the lasagna. I like those. Those are fun. You like Family Circle, maybe. There are actually political messages there too. Duneberry, no, that probably wouldn't do it. Hagar the Horrible and Beetle Bailey. Those are the ones you like, right? Because even Calvin and Hobbes had great messages in it. I don't understand what people mean when they say, I don't like comics and I don't like politics in my comics. In other words, you're not a comic book fan. because comics have pretty much always had politics in them. Always. Always. And they've always been left-leaning. Always. There's a reason why Steve Ditko left the comic book industry, or at least the Marvel comics, because he knew they're extremely left. They actually care about little guys and stuff like that. They're not objectionist. I love Steve Ditko's art. I hate his politics because he was very political also. He thought that student protests were a bad thing, that these were actually students who protested were scum of the earth. His own words. His own words. Uh, God forbid. God forbid. Politics have always been in comic books, man. I don't know where some of these ideas come from. Loving the Abrams Spider-Man, but dying is easy. Has started off great. Past year we've gotten a book that's made me as happy as Walking Dead 193. Walking Dead was something special. Surprised they didn't just go to 201 just for the sake of conversation. I'll always watch ads. 30 seconds of my time is worth a quality 10-minute video. Thank you, Hayden. Genuinely appreciated. Genuinely, from my heart, appreciated. Oh, so that bounced a lot. Okay, I'm going to start from here. Sue Ann McGinnis. I would love to see Thorgy and Professor Bill hang out. Is that the guy, Professor Thorgy? I watched Professor Thorgy, right? Okay, he's got a name like Wolf, I think. God damn, or is Wolf's Den? Is that a different one? I don't know. There are so many people doing comic book reviews on right now, man. And like, I hope that nobody's insulted that I don't know all these different guys. But yeah, yeah, I think I remember seeing him like last year. And then like I said, the algorithm just turned to looking at smaller comic book channels so that I can, show up, hey, what's going on? Say hi, I'm saying, try and bring some views to these people, you know what I'm saying? Because Lord knows, I wish that I had a bigger channel that would have helped me out. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I wish I would have had that. But at the same time, I also look at it as I wouldn't have been the same guy I am today. I've got my own I believe, very unique voice in this. And I think that's one of the reasons why. But still, I know how it feels when somebody's like, oh, I just want to quit doing this because it's like, no, 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 don't quit. Don't quit. Unless it's like actually a financial straight for you, unless it's like, I can make so much more money doing this instead of that. Okay, then I understand, saying, or it's taken away from my family, then I understand. But if you just don't think that you can get ahead, you're wrong. You can, you know? Um, what is this? Hey, D McElroy, what's up, dude? Uh, whose name is Aaron? What's up, Orcam? Hi, I'm McElroy. What in the fresh hell did I walk into? When did you walk into it? Favorite X-Men run? What's up, John Wright? Minus Ages of X-Men. Nice. People don't like certain politics in this hobby tent. Yeah, I honestly just don't get it. I don't know, and I don't really care. People have their own things that they have to deal with. People have their own ideals to work out with. The idea is that brainwashing is real. You know what I'm saying? The trick is, unlike Iron Man in Captain America: Civil War, the third Captain America movie, when you realize that someone's brainwashed, you know what I'm saying, and they're trying to repent for what they're doing, don't try to kill them. That's what makes you the bad guy in a movie. I'm just saying, yes, Tony Stark was a bad guy in that movie. And no, he was not written out of character. Yes, Professor Thorgy. Yeah, dude, like I'll do a collab with anybody. In fact, honestly, I've been looking for somebody to do an actual weekly podcast with. I'm struggling to try and find somebody to commit to a weekly podcast with. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be someone who's willing to take a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be doing. It's like I'm willing to advertise the whole thing or whatever, but like I don't want to pay. I don't have the funds to pay someone to do that. Like I just don't. But I would love to be able to start something off, and then once we actually start getting advertising, hey, let's just split this right down the middle. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do that. I don't know, too many of us trying to fight on our own for stuff. Ah, Sabah is here. Sabah, I just told this awesome Islamic hadith type story of the guy who killed 99 people and sought forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good story. You missed it. You missed it. She probably already knows it. um, Botter. Oh, Botter. What's going on, dude? Comic Book University. My favorite comic run is Elliot S. Maggins' Bronze Age run on Superman and Action Comics. Hot take: Kurt Swan's Bronze Age Superman is better than his Silver Age Superman. Yeah, the Silver Age Superman for the most part was the Silver Age Superman was pretty much just Superman trying to get back into the norm because we were still suffering from, like, in between the Golden Age and the Silver Age. There's no consensus on what that time period is called, but it's like a really weak, time when Superman was just worried about, his girlfriend Lois Lane and stuff like that. So there's that. But yeah, his Silver Age was really just him trying to play catch up. And obviously it wasn't that great because Captain Marvel blew him away, back during that time, so he was just trying to get back to his glory. Bronze Age, though, that's really them finding the right voice. That's Bronze Age would all of it be considered pre-crisis when it's like, what I'm saying, if Superman need the Omni power, if Superman needs to be able to do something for the story to be completed, boom, Superman can do it. Don't worry about that. That was the most OP version of Superman ever. And while I could see people, Mary Sue, sure, sure, but there were good stories. You know what I'm saying? They were really good stories. Oh yeah, move the Earth. Somebody knows the story. See, yeah, the angels came down and moved him closer to the village. Um, as of this week, Facebook Town is at a population of 320s. Yes, I saw that. Totally awesome. D. McElroy, sorry I'm late. Any underrated X-Men runs? Underrated X-Men runs. Underrated X-Men runs. A whole run. I think that. Okay, this is going to sound weird, but when Jim Lee first came on X-Men, when X-Men actually got rebooted back in the early 90s to number one, I'm going to call that an underrated X-Men run. Now, a bunch of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? That was amazing. It was amazing. Yes, it was amazing, and most people liked it. But what happened not too long after that? The decline in comic book readership because of all the variant covers. And no comic book did that more so than X-Men number one. Like that was the Jim Lee covers. X-Men got blamed for a lot of that. Marvel eventually went bankrupt. Right before that, DC was trying to sell itself to Marvel. Like, listen, we want the characters. We want Superman and Batman to go to a good home, honestly. And we know that you guys will take care of the characters. Will you buy them? And Marvel was like, no, you're going to be okay. And they didn't sell, and they actually wound up going with the WB. And they were okay. They were good. But anyway, yes, Marvel could have owned DC at that time, but Marvel also wound up going bankrupt. So eventually, and think about that. That means that Batman and Superman would have undeniably been bought by Sony at the time because Sony came to buy Spider-Man. They were offered like 20 or 25 more characters for just 1.5 million, 1 point something million more. And the guy was like, "Yeah, the only character that you've got that's worth his spit is Spider-Man. But imagine if Superman and Batman were there also in that pile." All right. Anyway, so D. McElroy, I'm going to give you first time ever Caliban dance. I am Super Caliban. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when Caliban come looking for you? Oh, pow. And I need a smaller Caliban too. Like before he gets powered up like this. I don't know why. And Leech. I need Leech. What's up? How come there's no Leech figure? Marvel Legends, man. Get on it. Get on it. So anyway, oh, bang. There you go. Caliban. Caliban Ban. The Jim Lee run. Although, what are your feelings on Ben Percy writing the new Wolverine? We'll see. Honestly, Brett Hess Art. What's up, Rantor? How you doing? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I I don't know. Um, Percy, like he does some really good stuff, and at the same time, the Wolverine podcast really didn't blow me away. so, so it's hard to say, but what he's doing in the comics right now on the Dawn of X, I don't have a complaint, you know. So whatever, as long as he's taking care of Wolverine, as long as it's a good, as long as the run is better than that silly logo title that he's got right now. I really just don't like that. I see that and I'm just like, oh God, they might as well give him Hot Claws. Oh God, there you go. If he doesn't have Hot Claws, I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? I have got to talk to Charles Soule about that one of these days. So what's up with the Hot Claws, man? um, let's see. Lord Raiden, Sony dropped the ball on that licensing deal. Oh hell yes, they did. They're kicking themselves in the butt. But that's what happens when you think you know the product that you're trying to purchase. I would say after Onslaught, after the Avengers and Fantastic Four teams were recovering. Mm, not looking forward to Empire, but Professor, like any good comic book trooper, I will stick it out to the end. Yeah, I'll check out and see what Empire is all about. It might be good. Who knows? R.A.P. Caliban, right? How do we define an underrated run? A run that gets a lot of crap, or a run that people just don't think about or quote very often. You know, people have quoted, like fans have quoted that Jim Lee run, but at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people point to the idea that that X-Men issue number 1 of X-Men with the, what was it, 5 variant covers, 4 or 5, I forget what it was. They're just like, dude, that was one of the big deals in the end of comic books as we knew them, you know? And it's true. But it's not to say that the writing and the art was bad. It's that you literally tricked people into buying 5 different covers of X-Men number 1 because they weren't informed that they're all actually the same comic book. I myself, as a 14-year-old kid, I picked up all of these issues and I read this, was like, awesome. What's the next one? This looks familiar. Where have I read this before? Hey, wait a second. And they were all the same thing. I was like, so I just bought all of the same cover? Why would I do that? And even nowadays, everybody's done that. A lot of us have those original covers. I still have 2 of them. Well, I rebought them, 2 or 3 of them anyway. And it's like, they're not worth anything. So who cares, right? Tacky, what's up? Batter, Legion of Superheroes, another comic I like for its momentum. Being ruined after Christ on Infinite Earth. I hear you. Rosenberg was cool. Rosenberg did have an underrated run. Let's see. Okay, Bruce Johannes. What's going on, Bruce? Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Enjoy your reviews every week. Stop jumping. Let me see this. Yeah, I'll read it here. Enjoy your reviews every week. Your long X-Men ones are great. They're also live. Since I don't have a lot of reading knowledge, any chance you could do a collected edition reviews in the future? Keep up the great reviews. Well, Bruce, I've got really good news for you, brother. As it turns out, was no, it was when the variant covers first started to become a thing. The first variant cover, really quick. I'm going to get to your thing in a moment, Bruce. Sabah, the first time that a variant cover actually happened was Man of Steel issue number 1. There was the one with, I think, Brainiac was on the front, freaking out Superman, and the other one actually had the, you know, Superman opening up his shirt, and then there's the Superman symbol underneath, not Vader. And yeah, that was a thing. Anyway, that was the first variant cover, and it was like, oh, well, that's interesting, and it just kind of went under the rug. And honestly, in my opinion, everyone should own that. I own them, you know what I'm saying? But that's the first variant cover that ever came out, official variant cover that ever came out. After that, no, when those X-Men things came out, no, they didn't first start to become popular. In fact, variant covers didn't start to become popular until many years later. Variant covers is actually it was actually the final straw, really, that broke the comic book industry in many regards. Plus, you know, Image Comics opening up, which, like, you know, screw you, Marvel and DC. But anyway, so as far as Bruce, yes, I was just talking about before for my my Patreon, and I'm not asking you to join unless you have the money to join. Then by all means, please join. I'm going to start doing spotlights on stories again. You can go and look up Spotlight on Story Comic Book University. You type that into a search bar. on YouTube or otherwise, and you will come to a whole bunch of stories that I've done. I'll take like a particular comic book issue from back in the day, and I'll focus on it, and I'll break it down. I'll get really into it. I'll do like a deep dive into it. And also sometimes I've done like a run or excuse me, an arc on a comic book or, something like that. I'll just do something really special. Like, oh, here's the first time that Carol Danvers got her powers from the Psyche Magnetron. And it's like, here's the story behind that. And here's what was actually going on. Here's the issues that all this happened in. And I'll just go into it, bang, da bang, da bang, and do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's one thing I was doing. Now here's a trick. There's actually two positions that I'm on right now, and I don't know which one to take. I'm thinking to do so Spotlight and Story. I'm going to start that again specifically for the patrons, the Patreon committed guys, and then like a month later, I was going to release it to everybody else. So patrons will get it a month in advance. All patrons, whether you are a patron at $1 or at a different tier. And I'm probably going to add more tiers also just to try it out. But maybe I won't. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But either way, that's something I'm going to do. So patrons will be able to see those early. Now, the cool thing with that is there's two different routes I can go with that. I was thinking to either start doing all of the Marvel graphic novels from issue 1, which is the death of Captain Marvel, and then just continue on. I've already done the 4th one, which is the first appearance of most of the New Mutants, but I was going to do all the other ones also, just in a row and just start knocking them out. I was also thinking to just start doing Spotlight on Stories for all the cool X-Men runs, which is something that you just specifically asked about also. I was thinking about starting with Inferno and Mutant Massacre would actually be what it is. So this way, so you can really start seeing a lot of the evolution of the X-Men, which is funny that, I pointed that pun was not intended, but I'm more than happy to embrace it. Anyway, yeah, so I was thinking of doing something along those lines, just so that, it could be fun. It could be cool. So yes, you just asked that question at the perfect time. Isaiah, what's up, Isaiah Coyote? Hey, Professor, do you think Marvel will require Red Sonja in the near future? Also, Happy New Year's, bro. Happy New Year's to you too, brother. Yes, I'm sure that they want her back. It's technically a creation of Marvel based on the Robert E. Howard properties, but it is technically a creation of Marvel. I think it was Conan the Barbarian issue number 23, her first appearance, and that's a big one. It's a pretty important one. That's a key issue. That's a collector's speculators issue. Go and get that. And I don't put my board. I use Mylar. I don't use plastic CGC grades and all that stuff to put away my comic books. I make the joke, I will never open up my old comic books and read them, but I promise you, I like the idea of being able to if I so choose. I don't like my stuff slabbed. I just find it really weird. But that being said, yes, oh, I was gonna say yes to something. Jeez, what the heck was that? Ah, man, I'm forgetting the freaking question. What was Yes, I do believe that Marvel does want Red Sonja back, but will they get it back? I think it honestly just depends. Like, give it a hot minute. I'm sure that eventually that license will be up, and they'll put a good bid in for it. The boys' comic books are better than the live action series. That's always the case, though, John. That's an easy one. Come on, nice softball, man. Throw a fastball. But no, all the love in the world for that comment. Yes, the boys just had a dollar comic recently, and they just re-released the trade paperback for at least the first volume, but I think for all of the volumes, and I think they just did one in hardcover also. Go and check out this week's This Week in Comics, because yeah, I showed that in the sweep section, the sweep portion of the video. But yes, I was actually thinking about going back and reading all those boys books because I never read those books. Oh, for crying out loud! No, wait, I just had his name. There's this guy who started. He's bigger than I am right now. His channel got bigger than mine, like quick, because he did the boys. He read all of the. I don't know how good they were. I didn't listen to them because I would rather read the comic books than listen to somebody else tell me about them first. I may go back and listen to them after I read the books, but for now, like I don't want somebody to spoil the whole books for me. But anyway, trying to remember his name. Crap. It's like such a weird name. It's a comic book channel, and he talks. I don't know. He talks. It bothers me that I never actually see the physical copies in his hands. So you know what? Maybe it's a good thing I don't remember his name. I I right away step away when I see somebody always talking about comic books. They never have physical copies in their hands. That's always a red flag for me. Like, dude, this guy's just stealing comic books off the line. And I know for a fact certain people do because they've told me that they do, which is disgusting. And I've disassociated myself with people like that, like flat out, like, dude, you are one of the reasons why the business is being wrecked. You know what I'm saying? People who think like you are the same reason why some people can afford to watch an ad or two and let me actually get paid for what I'm doing, but you won't. You know, you're people who you have more than enough money to be, donate $1 on Patreon to help me out, but you won't. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna steal comic books. Also, that's just dirty to me. Like, how can you sit there and propagate love for an industry that you genuinely just abhor? You know what I'm saying? You like, it crushes my soul. So anyway, yes, I hate that he never once has a comic book in his hand. All the times that I've looked at one of his videos, I'm like, dude, I'm done with this guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he's done a review of all of the volumes of the boys, individual reviews for each one of them. Anyway, and his channel's bigger than mine right now. Uh, Dope Spill? No, no. Does Dope Spill have that also? I haven't seen Dope Spill in a while because he's like so much bigger than I am. No, that's different. No, I'm talking about a guy like Dope. Has anybody ever seen what Dope Spill looks like? I don't know what his face looks like. But anyways, oh, and Rob, we do see his face. Anyways, no, shit. Does Rob do the same thing? I don't know. That's fuss though, if that's the case, especially with how much money I'm positive that he's making. Like, you can go and look and see how much money people are making from their patrons, and you could do that. What do you call it? You can do a bunch of ways to see what kind of money somebody's making from what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Rob's not buying comic books, I would be pissed. As far as Dope Spill, okay, honestly, I don't know the answer to that. I'd be pissed if I found out that he did that also. But anyway, no, it's a guy who you actually see him sitting in front of you and he talks, and on the right side of him, he's got images or the front page, like the cover of the comic book right next to him. I can't remember. It's just, like, it's not a cool channel name. It's just his name, his first and last name. It's two words or two names. Can't remember what his name is. Anyway, yeah, just some guy who just taught, and he never, ever, ever has a comic book actually in his hands, which, like I said, red flag to me. I hate the idea of that. Um, Whenever somebody's like, "Hey, will you review my comic book?" I'm like, "Hey, will you mail me the comic book?" Because yeah, I like to have the actual thing in my hand. Um, Hayden, I don't understand reading comics online really. It's not as wow, that just jumped. It's not as entertaining for me without the physical paper in my hands. Yeah, I hear you, but like there's some digital only comics, like they get released digitally only. Like Kelly Thompson released a bunch of Jessica Jones. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry about that. That was if I'd have known that was going to happen, I'd have moved the mic. Anyway, what do you call it? She's released two volumes of Jessica Jones, and it was only on Comixology. You could later on get the trade paperback, but no, I just bought them on Comixology. Like, I've got my account. You can actually see that I purchased them. Boom, done. So I will read a. Oh, in fact, Jim Zub sent me his Stone Star comics. There were 4 issues of that, and or were there 5? Either way, he sent me all the issues individually like that, and like they were never made. I think at some point they will, or they just recently have been made into a trade paperback. But same exact situation. He sent them to me. He's like, "Please do a review." Bang, bang, bang. I was like, "Yeah, sure." You know, Jim Zub's funny. Like, I've tried to communicate with him in the past. He's always super busy, but like I think he watches my reviews. I don't know if he watches all of them. Like, I don't, I, or maybe he just watches the ones that I review for him. Maybe I don't know. But I do know that when I walk up to him at a show or something like that, he's like, "Oh, hey, professor." I was like, I love that this guy knows. you know, like he recognized me when he said, like, "That's freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome." I mean, it would be a little bit cooler if he followed me on Twitter, but we're friends on Facebook, so there's that. I'll leave it at that. We're friends on Facebook, but it'd be cool if he could drop me a follow on Twitter. I mean, I don't post a lot on Twitter. What's up? You know what I'm saying? What's up? But anyway, Zub is freaking awesome. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. So when I do get a digital comic book, I will review if it's digital only, but I agree. I love the feel and the smell of a comic book actually in my hands. It's just that sound of, flipping the page, but still being careful. You don't want to bend it, you know what I'm saying? And having to hold the comic book just right so that you don't wind up getting a fingerprint on it. I'm not going to sell my comic books, but I don't want the FBI to come in and be like, okay, we got him. We got the professor. um, Anyone else think Krakoa would have conflict with other Marvel countries like Atlantis, Namor, yes, or Latveria, Doom? Doom, not so much, but yes, absolutely, I could see a problem with Atlantis. I'm looking forward to that storyline at some point. Oh, jump, 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 jump. Lots of jump. Damn, lots of jumpings. Dope spills a cutie pie. Oh, okay, that's cool. Shares my love of Dakin. No, Dope spill buys these. Okay, awesome. Good, good. Um, what else is Rob buys from Comixology? Cool. Cape Joel. No, it's not Cape Joel. Um, no, haven't I seen Joel with books in his hands? I don't know. I don't know. Plus, he lives out in London or around London. There are plenty of comic book stores out there. I'm pretty sure he buys. I hope. I hope he buys comic books there. Lost his free will now that Galactus made him a herald. That I highly doubt. I'd be surprised if Thor could lose his free will. Plus, it'd be really weird having a Thor comic book where Thor's being controlled for a while. That would be really weird to me. So no, I think that being a god, even a minor god as Thor is, I would imagine that's enough for him to be able to have his own free will from Galactus. Plus, Galactus doesn't actually have to take your will. He did that with Silver Surfer for a good reason, a Galactus style good reason, but not a morally good reason. But that being said, um, Rob is new to the patron community. That's interesting. I can't afford to buy any American comic books because the economy in Egypt is messed up. Yeah, about 100 Egyptian pounds. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Plus, I know it's hard to find them in Egypt too. Um, Looks like it's a live action series. Thor needs to lose anime bags in front of him. Um, I don't show physical comics, but I have them just because I want to wait till I'm bigger to be on camera. Oh, you're holding back from being on camera. Don't do that. Don't do that because then if you have a channel, comics expertise, don't do that. I've known people who tried to do that. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do like a face reveal one day. Dude, showing your face now might be one of the reasons why people actually show up to see your channel in the first place. So you could actually be holding yourself back by holding back the face reveal. Like it's a face and everybody's got one. For the most part, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Just go on camera and just be like, hey, what's going on? You might be nervous at first. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? If you're a cool channel, you could do a face reveal with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. I'll go on your channel and I'll announce it on Twitter and see if and my Facebook group, see if we can get a bunch of people there. As long as you're not one of those comic skaters, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? And then boom, just do it. Just freaking do it. Um, Hayden Appleton. Uh, yeah, my kids are not going to bed and giving my wife a hard time. Yeah, The Walking Dead, The Alien was only digital. For that, I always support the industry. Nice. Sorry, whether Comics Explained or Comic Historian is I worry whether they are or not. It's funny. I haven't seen Comic Historian in a long time, but when I used to watch him like years ago, when they used to do the weekly poll podcast, he used to pull out his comic books every time. He used to have the physical comics every time. And Benny from at the time he was TV Little House, Comics Pop. Now he's Comics Pop. He used to actually not. I don't know if he worked in the comic book store that he used to be in, but before he started doing that that weekly show he does every Wednesday. I'm positive he still does the weekly show every Wednesday. It's his most popular show. There's no way he's getting rid of that. But he'll do that comic pop weekly. Hey, let's talk about a story arc or a comic or a run or something like that. Whenever he does that, he nowadays he does that in his living room, it looks like, with the big TV there. But before that, he used to do it in an actual comic book store, like I do it for my comic book store. Um, hold on, let me see if I can fix things real quick. You kids, listen to mommy and go to sleep, or no Minecraft tomorrow. Sorry, I had to threaten my kids' lives on the freaking channel, but basically telling them no Minecraft tomorrow would be like threatening their lives. They're just like, I bet you right now they're not even tired, but they're closing their eyes with the blankets up like this, like, please let us be able to play Minecraft. Please let us play. They love Minecraft. It's the only video game they've ever really played at home. Besides when we go to like Toys R Us or something, you got a video game out there and they'll play like Breath of the Wild, Zelda, or something like that, or the Mario thing. We went to an EB Games recently, and the guy was like, "Hey, sir, do you want to play what's that Nintendo beat 'em up game? It's like all the guys fight. Like you got Sonic there and Mario, and they could fight each other. Whatever that one is called. It's like you want to play?" I was like, "Absolutely not!" But I got these two little rugrats here who would love to play that, and they got on there, and I was like, "Hey, bud, why don't you be Sonic?" And he's like, "Where's Sonic?" I was like, "Right there." He's like, "I'm gonna be Sonic." They don't even know who Sonic is, but they heard of Sonic. It's like, he looks cool. All right, go ahead, go play him. Anyway, I'm loving the domestics. Don't spill loved. I loved Donny Cates Thor #1. Whatever, man. Let's hope that worked. Oh, that worked. That worked. Your review and Dope Spill's review of #1 were the best I have seen. That's right. That's right. And that Dope Spill guy, he's actually cool. I used to watch him a couple times in the past. He's cool people. Have they ever really explained how powerful Galactus really is? No, Galactus is a special kind of case. He's uber super duper powerful. Plus, he has the ability to use what do you call it, technology, and he is the owner. He's the sole owner of the power cosmic, which is a very special elect sort of power in the Marvel universe. It is actually on par, yes, with the Phoenix Force. You know what I'm saying? It's its own kind of power, and he can freely give that to whomever he wants. And he gives the Silver Surfer like almost unlimited power, and it's a spec. According to Galactus, it weakened him not even in the slightest. You know what I'm saying? It's like he gives people power cosmic. He could take it away, but he's just like, it doesn't hurt me for you to keep it. It's not like you can challenge me. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. If all of his heralds came and tried to attack him, he'd be like, "Are you fleas kidding me?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's nothing for him. Awesome. Good news, Tacky. It's almost 3 a.m. for me, so good night, everyone. Good night, Sabah. See you later. See you in a review, or I'll see you next week. How are you, Spawn's Christmas? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Due to my issue, I had to resort to read comics online so I can know what's going on. I hear you. Okay, the Middle East is an interesting thing because there are just way too many. It's way too hard to get your hands on comic books in the Middle East. So yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Aside from that, though, don't brag about getting comic books illegally. Even if it's legal in your country. When I was in Saudi Arabia and when I was in Egypt, it was legal to do that. It's technically legal to do that here in Canada too, but it doesn't mean that it's right. You know what I'm saying? So don't brag about it. That's just don't do that. No Minecraft. What madness is this? Um, I have all the issues of New Daredevil and I have not read them. Oh, Hayden, I'm not mad at you. I'm actually a little bit envious of you. You get to sit down and read 16 issues in a row right now, if you so chose, for the first time. I remember my bud. We went in to go see The Hobbit in the movie theater. Or no, The Lord of the Rings. We went to go see Lord of the Rings. And I read The Hobbit, but I hadn't read all of The Lord of the Rings yet. And me and my buddy Mark, we went to go see the first Lord of the Rings, or the first Fellowship of the Rings movie, The Lord of the Rings. And he's sitting down. He's like, "So you never read this whole book?" I was like, "No, I never read the Lord of the Rings yet." And he's like, "I want you to know right now, I envy you so much." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because you get to watch this movie for the first time. Me, I'm going to be watching this, and I already know what's going to happen. Bang, 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 we're done. But you get to experience this for the first time." I was like, "Well, shoot, that just made my viewing experience that much better." So I'm going to do the exact same thing to you. I envy you so much that you're not going to be doing one by one by one, that you get to sit down and read all of them in one sitting, maybe before, what I'm saying, Christmas vacation is over, and just bang, just enjoy 16 issues if you so chose in one sitting. Holy crap. Wow. Wow. Can't wait though. So behind on my reading. I hear you. Okay, just reread X-Men #4. What, just right now? And swear with Magneto, Xavier, and Apocalypse. I see them as it's not Pacino. Yeah, De Niro, Pesci, and yeah, what the heck is his name? Al Pacino. Pacino. Yes. We'll call him, but did somebody say it? No, no, it's just me. It's just me. But yes, that would absolutely work. Call him the Goodfellas or the Irishman, because that just, yeah, the Irishman. There, that was the first movie that all three of them were in at the same time together. Hey, Comics League, what's going on? Comics League, I figure Phoenix Force is stronger only because Gallon of Ta would not have survived the death of his universe with. Did that seriously just jump that much? Wow. Without the Phoenix Force allowing it. Please explain, because I don't see that at all. He was overseen by the birth of Eternity and Mistress Death. Um, I don't see the Phoenix Force allowing anything. Plus, if I'm not wrong, the Phoenix Force does the Phoenix Force exist outside of time? It might, because the one time that they showed the Phoenix Force resting on the Living Tribunal's shoulder, I think the Phoenix Force is like its death and rebirth and all that stuff, the life cycle. I think that also gets destroyed with the universe, doesn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody smart me up on that. I also have the entirety of City of Bane, Curse of the White Knight, and Last Night on Earth to read. Yeah, it's a lot of reading. So true, 16 in a row. That's almost 3 trades. Yeah, 2 more issues. That'll be 3 full trades. Do you all think it would be a good idea for an arc whether Asgard wanted Thor to pick a queen? Oh, hells yes. Hells yes. Because you know what, Corey? I see what you're doing there. If that's what they're doing to Mira in Atlantis, I think that would be great to do something like that on to Thor. I think that would be a great arc. Nobody suggested to Donny Cates because I'm sure he's already thought of it. But oh, hells yes. Hells yes. Yeah, that would be awesome, man. Daredevil equals kaboom. Yeah, dude, Daredevil's just amazing right now. Okay, let's go down a little bit. Oh, what's this? Best option. Just like a Superman comics in the 60s, 2000s. They translated barefoot Chen manga. Spelled. Sorry, everybody misspells things. Okay, Lord Raiden talking to Hayden about Daredevil is the best out of those 4, in my opinion. Yes, yeah, I can't argue with you. Oh, what the heck? Comic book, Yu-Gi-Oh! Life Entertainer, Margarine. What's up, dude? Welcome to the channel. Who'd win the fight, Antimatter or Galactus? No, Antimatter. Come on. Galactus is super uber powerful, but the thing that's so cool about him is that they've shown that as powerful as he is, he can be beaten. Anti-Monitor, he can't just be straight beaten up in a fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless you're Scott Snyder in the current arc that just finished in um, Justice League, or just about to finish in Justice League. But no. Antimatter would definitely win. He's way more powerful. Could Sif be the Bifrost Guard and All Mother? That would be interesting. I would hope not. I do really want to see him with her, but maybe I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'd be Lady Jane. Who knows? Did your kids' Christmas go, sir, or does your family do something else? No, yeah, they had Christmas. They had a whole bunch of cool stuff. Um, there's there's two gifts I didn't give them that I got for them and I didn't give them. I just put them on top of my we just use the Italian word armaggio. The wall unit, we have a big wall unit in our living room. In Italian it's armaggio. So I put these two video games up there that I bought for them because I'm sitting there like on Christmas night wrapping all the stuff and my wife was out there with me and she's looking, helping a little bit. Anyway, and I was like, they already kill Minecraft. I got them this Cars racing, like Cars 3, this racing game where they can actually be Lightning McQueen and race cars and stuff like that with each other, which is kind of cool since we don't have a Nintendo, the Switch where they can actually play Mario Kart, which would be infinitely better. At least they got this, they could play this. And I got them the first Lego Marvel movie, so these could be fun. And we're just looking at them, and we both came to the conclusion at about the same time. It's like they don't want to get off of Minecraft. Can you imagine if they had choices now? It's like, you know what? Eff it. No, I'm just going to put these back up on top of this. And then maybe one day in the future, like 16 years from now, maybe I'll introduce them to other games. But for right now, at least Minecraft is very creative and they're doing a lot more with it. So there's that. Oh, I see that Paula's leaving. Okay, see you later, Paula. Much love. Um, let's see. Dylan was just talking about you multiple times. Um, hopefully not too late. You are, because I am planning on leaving pretty soon, dude. Um, what do you call it? Been going for an hour and 45 minutes, dude. But you know what? You're here. Let's see. What do I have here? Fix your hair, bud. Nope, that's Dylan's comic book. Okay, so let's see if I can invite. Apply. Yeah, check your email, bud. Sent. There you go. So we're gonna try and get Dylan on here. Dylan had me on. I'll get Dylan on also. Spoke about me on his lot. Okay, enough of that. I don't want any freaking hero worship in here, dude. James Tinney and Scott Snyder and Nick Spencer have been hitting it out of the park for me personally, 100%. Yeah, I don't know that the Phoenix Force is more powerful than Eternity. I genuinely don't see it. Like I do consider the Phoenix Force a she, but maybe it's androgynous. I don't know. Either way, I see it being subservient to Mistress Death in some small way, or at least subjective to Mistress Death. Because if the Phoenix is all about life, death, recycle, you know what I'm saying, and of course the entirety of psychic energy, like if yeah, I honestly don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think that it's as powerful as them. So no, I'm sure it's I consider it to be 100% on par with Galactus, but not more powerful than Galactus. I just don't see that. Um, I want Captain Britain in the MCU. Yes, I'd be down with that. Get some more Brits involved. I agree with you. The aspect antimatter will probably, yeah, nothing got anything on him. James Tynion on Batman is going to be interesting. Ram V taking over on Justice League Dark, I think is going to be really good. Yes, yeah. After this arc is done, I'm going to be sad to see Tynion leave Justice League Dark because it's amazing, but we'll see what's up. Uh, the hottest Daredevil issues, the last two were holy crap. Yes, I was getting rapid heartbeat, and Daredevil heard you. Series looking promising for new books. I'm stoked for Jessica Jones. Hells to the yes. It won't happen because comics don't sell over here like they used to in the 90s, so no American comic company is going to risk translating unless it's a Disney comic. Okay. Was Elektra ever written as that kinky? Oh, 100%. Yes. Elektra will sleep with whoever she wants to sleep with because she doesn't go by people's expectations of her. She goes by what she feels like doing. And excuse me, and damned anybody who has a problem with that. And that's cool, man. Um, she's somebody who doesn't care about like the names that people call women, Like I've never seen a man like without being tongue in cheek being called a slut before. And definitely not no man like, doing anything other than okay. You know what I'm saying? Or hell's yeah. You know what I'm saying? Men do what they want to do, and Elektra does what she wants to do, and women in general should just do what they want to do. And like I said so many times before, man, I could not imagine being a woman. Not because it'd be a bad thing, but I look at it as I hate people telling me what to do, and I don't think there's ever been a time in history that women have not been consistently told what to do. So there's that. um, if we get Captain Britain, I know what that means. We can get Merlin meeting Doctor Strange. Yes. I'm not complaining, but still, Corey, maybe Marvel Knights. Elektra is pulling from Selena's playbook and dragging Matt along and using his other brain. There ain't no brain down there, man. There's a head, right? No other brain. I'm gonna have to bounce soon, so if Dylan doesn't show up soon to at least say hi and promote his channel really quick, then I don't know what to say because I need to go. I need to bounce. It's 10 o'clock, and yeah. Um, so what else? Let me also take a quick. Oh, you're coming. I hope you're coming soon, dude. Let's see. Was this? Let me go back down here. Let me go and look over here. Let me look over here really quick. And no, my guest has not seen my thing. That crushes my soul. Ah, oh well. My guest has not seen the thing. So no guest. Maybe in 2 weeks. We'll see him. We'll see. I'm gonna give you like 10 more seconds, bro, and then I got to go. Got to go. Oh, laptop is slow. 1 more minute. 1 more minute, dude. That's like 6 times the time that I just allotted. Currently watching the BB Netflix Dracula adaptation. Oh, my other channel, really quick for the sake of conversation. I haven't done a lot with my other channel because, but I do have the CBU hyphen toys. Yeah, the link is there's no links in this description yet. I'm going to put the links in the description after I leave and all that good stuff. But there is another channel, and almost any of my other videos you can see the link to it. CBU toys, and I haven't done a whole lot with it. Only got 123 subscribers there, but I try to review toys once in a while. Well, I got a new toy to review, and yeah, so this is Jetfire, sometimes called Skyfire, but Jetfire from the G1 Transformers. This is the War of Cybertron right before they go to Earthrise. So the Siege, and heck to the yeah, man, heck to the yeah. So yeah, it's currently 3. Oh, so geez, you're over in England also with Sabah. All right, good night, Hayden. Yes, enjoy, get some sleep. It was good having you in the chat. I'm good. My opinion, Corey. Boom. Sleep is a concept. Sleep is unfortunately necessity. I know that because there are many times I've been working and I'm just like, I was just sleeping for about 5 minutes on my computer. I think I'm going to lay down and do that. Yes. Okay, here I go. So, yeah, unfortunately. What type of Dracula are we showing? Dracula? What? Dracula? How about Dragula? Let's do Dragula instead. Let's pull out some White Zombie in here. Dig through the ditches and burn through the witches and slam in the back of my Dragula. What's up, Lewis Versatility? You're just in time for me to leave because, yeah, I'm about to bounce, man. I'm about to bounce. I was hoping that Dylan could show up. Might have to do this another time because, yeah, I'm freaking exhausted. I'm going to go and fall asleep watching something on TV with my wife. So, anyway, it's been cool hanging out with y'all. Much love, all the love in the world. Dylan, I will have to see you guys another time. Yes, Keanu. I heard that Keanu is actually being fought for between DC and Marvel. If Keanu's smart, he's going to go with Marvel. I mean, that's the obvious bank, right? But who knows? Maybe he could change the DCEU. We'll see. Anyway, guys, so I am out. I love peace and hair grease. I'll talk to you guys later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.